Hey y'all, Miss Katie here with you today. Welcome to Heritage Ways. Do you always wonder about those recipes that are at the grocery store? Like if you shop at the bigger grocery stores, maybe, I don't know, Kroger or Meijer or Ingles or Publix, one of those type stores, Whole Foods, that kind of thing. Bigger grocery stores, they sometimes have recipes. And often, in some of those, they will have testing stations. I don't know now, but they used to when we lived in Middle Tennessee. Well, I picked up a recipe about, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years ago at one of those grocery stores, and our family has loved it. So I want to share that recipe with you today. Y'all stay tuned. Alright y'all, I'm Miss Katie. Welcome to Heritage Ways, where we honor home, celebrate heritage, and spread hope. We sure are glad you're here today. It is a drizzly winter day here today. The snow is starting to melt here on the edge of Ohio Amish country, and I thought it would be a good thing to make for the family tonight, something called Italian pie. Now, I picked up this recipe at Publix. I don't know how long ago, 4-ish years ago, and it was a real hit. My family loved it. One of those cards, because they sell the books, you can put the cards in, but you know, this is a card. It tells the shopping list, what you'll need, and so I'm going to make a couple of variations, but the ingredients will basically be the same. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing as we do it, so let's look at the ingredients. Okay, friends, the ingredients are 1 1/4 pounds of meatloaf blend. Now, if you're not familiar with meatloaf blend, this is basically a mixture. Some stores have it, they call it meatloaf blend, but it's basically a mixture of ground beef and pork and sometimes lamb, maybe. But this actually is just ground beef and pork. I mixed it myself. So I weighed it with my kitchen scales, part ground beef, part pork, not sausage, but just pork, ground pork. And I'm sure you could use any kind of ground meat, but that's what this is, 1 1/4 pounds. Then we have a 1/4 cup of pepperoni. It's actually 1 ounce, so it's over here. And then we've got 6 slices of salami. This is a hard salami. Frozen spinach. It calls for 10 ounces, but I'm using 12 ounces because that's what was in the package. All right, 2 eggs. 2 cups of a shredded Italian blend cheese. It might say lasagna cheese on the package, something like that, but you could use just mozzarella if that's what you have. I mean, you know, we're so versatile here at my house and in my kitchen. We use what we have. One of these ready-to-bake rolled pie crusts. The recipe calls for 1/4 cup of diced pimentos, but actually I have some of those down in my larder, but I'm going to conserve those and save those for when I make pimento cheese. And then it calls for a jar of bruschetta spread. Now, most people don't have bruschetta spread. That's a spread that is used. Bruschetta is when you make like a toast, Italian bread toast, and you put the spread on top, and it's like an appetizer or an hors d'oeuvre. But we're going to substitute with a spaghetti sauce. This is just a basic canned spaghetti sauce. And then we're going to need a teaspoon of dried Italian seasoning. So let's put it all together.
Go ahead and brown your ground meat. And when that is, you don't have to wait till it's browned. Go ahead and add the Italian seasoning to that. And just finish browning that. And then break your 2 eggs and lightly whisk those a little bit.
Okay, so I browned the meat with the Italian seasoning. I'm not going to drain it. The recipe actually doesn't say to, but I wouldn't have probably if it did, because I just typically don't drain it, especially if I have a good quality of meat. If you have a good quality of meat, then the fat is actually beneficial for you. Vitamins E, and other kinds of great nutrients for your body. All right, now we're going to add the other ingredients directly to this pot. Okay, we chopped up the salami and I'm adding that. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you. The pepperoni smelled like super funky, and I don't know why, because it was a new package. But it smelled so super funky that I just couldn't bring myself to use it. You do what you want in your own kitchen. You can leave out a recipe, an ingredient in something. You can add an ingredient when you're cooking. Hey, in your world, as Bob Ross said, y'all know Bob Ross, but he would say, in your world, you decide where the trees are. So this is what I'm doing today. I threw the pepperoni away. I just couldn't deal. All right, now I'm adding the spinach. It's not cooked. It's directly from the frozen package and just drained. I'm just trying to break up the spinach. Okay. And then I'm going to add the spaghetti sauce. It's just a can. This is 15 ounces, but the recipe calls for 13.75 ounces of bruschetta. I have used jarred. I've used jarred sauce, like marinara. Actually, depending on your sauce is going to make a difference. What kind of sauce you use is going to make a difference to the taste. Not that this is going to be bad, but there are all sorts of, I want to say gourmet, but different kinds of sauces, spaghetti sauces. So whatever you use is going to make a difference in the flavor of your finished product. And it's all going to be good, I'm sure. All right, so I cooked this probably on medium for about 2 minutes. If you need to do something, if you need to walk off and do something, just turn it off and come back and finish it. Right now I'm going to turn it off for, you just want it to cool a little bit because you're going to be adding the eggs and the cheese. So, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, something like that. Maybe even not that long. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes. You just want it to cool so that eggs don't scramble. Alright, to finish up, our mixture has cooled slightly. I'm going to go ahead and add all of my cheese. You're not saving any for the top or anything like that. Your 2 eggs. And then I'm just going to stir this up. The eggs are going to let this, cause this to set up like a lasagna would be set up and not runny. I'm going to put it in this dish. Now, it says to put it in a 9x13. I've done that in the past, and then a minute ago I was like, well, hello, Katie, you can use a round, a cake pan. And you'll see why that's, handy to do here in a minute. This is a 12-inch, just because that's the one I had handy, and I thought the 9-inch was too small. So if you had a 10-inch, that might be best. Or, you know what? You could do this in cast iron. Oh my goodness, why didn't I think of that? Oh, my stars. Okay, here we go. This is heavy. And I can't really maneuver it around this. Well, here's what I do. I use this spoon to hold it. It's a trick. Actually, it's a chef's trick I learned from a chef. Alright. You just hold, if this pot's too heavy, and you just hold it like this and let the contents pour out, and then you can deal with it. Alright. You know what? This could almost be a dip or something too. I don't know. Okay, so get this out of the way. Oven's on 425. Thank you, Miss Claire, for my hot pad there. All right, now I'm going to take the roll-up kind of pie crust, gently unroll it, and set it on top. Now, here's the thing. This is why I said a 10-inch would be good, because I could have crimped it or done something, kind of tucked it under or whatever. But you know what? Honestly, I'm not going to stress over this. I'm just going to leave it. This is my crust. If you had a 10-inch, like I said, you wouldn't see the food around the edge, the filling. If you had a 9x13 like it suggests, you have to kind of cut and maneuver and manage it. So this is what we're going to do today. Now, I'm going to cut some slits in the top. You know, the original recipe says to stretch the dough. So if you wanted to roll it out and deal with that, but we're talking, trying to make a reasonably quick supper right here. And all that business of rolling that out is not reasonably quick. All right, 425 for 25 to 30 minutes. Well, I'm actually not going to taste it right now. We're saving it for supper time, which is coming up soon. But I just want to show you again. Italian pie. I hope you'll try it. It's a hit with our family. It's one of our family favorites from one of the recipes given out at the grocery store. So you never know. All right, y'all have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for visiting us here today. Bye-bye.